No, in American football. Wait, no, not that. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 1 of How Sports Work. And today, we're dividing into American football, the most popular sport in the USA. If you have ever heard of Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts, Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, or have even seen a Bud Light commercial, you've heard of the NFL, the primary professional league for the sport. But how does it work? What's happening on screen? Let's dive into to see what happens in the NFL. The NFL is made up of 2 conferences, the AFC and the NFC. Each of these has 4 divisions: North, South, East, and West. Before a game starts, there is a coin flip. The visiting team calls heads or tails, and whoever wins the coin flip decides if they want to receive or start with the ball, or defer, aka start with defense. At the start of each half, and after every touchdown or made field goal, there is a kickoff. The kicker kicks the ball, and the receiving team has to make it as far down the field as possible once they get the ball. During the game, there's usually a score bar, or where you can find all the info that is not usually on screen. This logo right here is the broadcasting station's logo. For this example, it's CBS. These 2 things are the teams. In this case, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. As you can see, each team has 2 or 3 letters to represent their team. These are usually the first 3 letters of their city, as Philadelphia is PHI and Pittsburgh is PIT. Next, this is the score, or how many points each team has. More points is better in this sport. These 3 bars are how many timeouts each team has. They get 3 timeouts per half, and a bar will disappear each time a team uses them. Next, over here is the records of the team, or how many wins/losses each team has. The first number is wins, the second number is losses, and in some cases, there's a third number which will represent ties. This number tells you what quarter you are in. There are 4 quarters, and this number is how much playtime is left in the quarter. Each quarter has 15 minutes, with the clock stopping each time the ball is incomplete, goes out of bounds, or a timeout is called. The clock is also stopped for injuries, flags, and at the end of a quarter. A half is made up of 2 quarters, and after a second quarter, there's a 15-minute halftime, where you sometimes see shows happen or halftime reports. Over here is the play clock, or how much time the team with the ball has to start playing, or snap/hike the ball. This number represents the down you're on. A down is an attempt, or try, to get the ball past the first down. The second number represents how many yards you have until you get a first down, or 4 more tries. During a down, you have 4 options: pass,
football league. Third snap and a first down as Burrow steps up and throws it.
run,
Off to a good start. There they toss it to Mixon. Gets a running start. A good yardage for 10. Another 10. Boyer.
kick,
Butker up. Got it.
or punt.
8 for 27. Herman's going to let the punt go. And
Passing is where the quarterback, the person who has the ball after the ball is snapped, throws the ball to a receiver who catches it and tries to run it down the field as far as possible. A run is where the quarterback gives the ball to a running back who will try to get as far down the field as possible from the line of scrimmage or starting line. A kick is usually on 4th down or when the clock is running out of time at the end of a half. The kicker will try to kick the ball into one of the field goals to score 3 points. And a punt is usually on 4th down. This is where a punter will come out and try to kick the ball as far down the field as possible without going past the touchdown line. The other team tries to return the punt somewhere of the same as a kickoff. A touchdown is where the team gets the ball into the end zone, rather by throwing it in or running it in. This scores you 6 points alone. After a touchdown, you have 2 options. You can kick a field goal starting at the 15-yard line for an extra point, or you can go for 2 points, or a 2-point conversion. This is where you have 1 try to get the ball into the end zone from 2 yards away. Scoring a touchdown from there gives you 2 points. After that, it's back to the kickoff where the team who scores kicks the ball back to the other team. Good defense is also good for the game. Some terms that you will want to know are a sack, where a defensive player tackles the quarterback, or QB, behind the line of scrimmage or the starting line. They do not need to wait for the quarterback to throw the ball, and they can tackle them as soon as the play starts. An interception, where a defensive player catches the ball. This causes a turnover, or the ball to go to the team who was on defense. You could also run the ball into the end zone to score a touchdown. A fumble, where a player in control of the ball loses control and it drops it, or a defensive player causes it to go up flying. If this happens, the defense and the offense can recover it or pick up the ball to have possession. A safety, a position on the defense, but it's also a thing that can happen too. This is where the defense tackles the person with the ball in the end zone behind them. If this happens, the defensive team is awarded 2 points and the ball back 2. During kickoff, the kicking team can attempt an onside kick, or a kick where they catch the ball after it goes 10 yards. The ball can bounce on the ground as long as it goes 10 yards after the bounce. If the team successfully does this, they get the ball again. One thing that can happen during play is a flag, or penalty. This is where the offense or defense does something that they're not supposed to do. Some common ones are unnecessary roughness, pass interference, false start, illegal formation, and offsides, just to name a few. If this happens, the team that commits the offense loses yards towards their own goal. If the scores are tied at the end of the fourth quarter, the game goes into overtime. Overtime is 10 minutes of sudden death play, where the team who scores first wins the game. A coin flip determines who receives the ball first, and if no team scores after overtime, the game ends in a tie. A team schedule looks like this: 18 weeks in the regular season. First, a team plays all of the other teams in their division twice, once home and once away. Next, they play all 4 teams in another division in the same conference, 2 home and 2 away. After that, they play all 4 teams in another division in the other conference, 2 home, 2 away. Next, they play the 2 teams in your conference that placed in the same rank as you did in their own division last year. For example, the 49ers placed 4th in the NFC West, so they will play the Eagles, who placed 4th in the NFC East, and the Falcons, who placed 4th in the NFC South. They do not need to play the Lions, again, as they have already playing them this season. You play 1 game home and 1 game away. Next, you play a team in the other conference that you didn't play last year, you're not already playing this year, and you won't play next year. In this example, it is the Bengals, and these are determined by the ranks of last year. Finally, you have a bye week, or a break week, in the middle of the season. And this is how the schedule is for all 32 of the NFL teams. The playoffs work like this. First, you have your 4 divisions in a conference. The winner of each division, or the person with the best win-loss record in each division, are seeds 1 through 4. In this example, we will use the Bengals, the Texans, the Chargers, and the Bills. Seeds 5, 6, and 7 are wild cards, given to the teams that have the best record that have not already won their division. So in this case, it's the Jaguars, the Ravens, and the Titans. Note that wildcard teams can be in the same division, so 2 or all 3 wildcards can be in the AFC South. In this example, there are only 2 there, however. The first seed gets a bye in the first round, or the wildcard round, for all their efforts. All other seeds are determined by win-loss records, so the better the win-loss record, the better your seed. Note that the winners always get seeds 1 through 4. Let's have these teams win the first round: the Texans, the Ravens, and the Bills. Now, why are the Ravens playing the Bengals? Well, the lowest remaining seed after the wildcard round plays the first seed, and the other 2 teams play each other in the second round, the divisionals. We will take the Bengals and the Bills as the winners. They face off in the conference championship, and we will have the Bengals go to the Super Bowl. Repeat this for the NFC, and boom. Overtime for the playoffs is different, however. Instead of instant sudden death, each team gets a chance to possess the ball and score. If a team scores in their first possession and the other team does not, that team that scored will win. If no teams score or both teams score, then play continues in sudden death. Teams cannot tie, and the overtime periods are 15 minutes instead of 10. Well, that's the NFL, all of its complicated rules in play. If you're still confused, well, watch some football. You will know what the heck is happening on screen soon. You can also ask someone who knows what's going on, though they might get annoyed. But yeah, the NFL is complicated, but it can also be very entertaining when your team scores. So yeah, go touch some grass, you nerd.